What's up, y'all? Hey, man. Hey, I took a lot of notes from that game, so just be prepared to be here for a while. Man, like, first, let me start off with Sam Howell, man. Like, that man did his thing yesterday. And in the beginning, it was a little rough. It looked like we were seeing Antonio Gibson and B Rob getting a little frustrated with Sam Howell, but honestly, it was raining. So honestly, it wasn't a lot of rain at the time when they played, but it was still some rain out there. So, you're going to have some missed passes, some slips, some falls. You're going to have that. But Sam looked like he didn't hit his targets quick enough. And, Sam came out and said that, he didn't have his best game, but he could do better. And I appreciate that about Sam because he also, said the defense was good, the offense was good. I could have did better myself. So I appreciate that for Sam. He's taking it on the chin, and he also saying that he had a good game, but he could have had better. And that's something you want to see out of a quarterback, especially somebody starting off, because you don't want that same issue that what's his name, Mike Wilson. That's his name from the Jets. Mike Wilson. I feel like that's wrong. Zach Wilson. Yeah, same same thing that Zach Wilson had, man. Because Zach Wilson came out and when his defense showed up, I think it was the Patriots game against the Jets, and he blamed the defense, and the defense was like, "What?" And like the next week, he wasn't the starter no more. So because he didn't take accountability for his actions, and he basically didn't talk about how he should have did better in that game because he didn't score at all. So yeah, I just like the fact that Sam Howell is doing this thing and he's really speaking up and being vocal, and he's learning from Jacoby, honestly, and I know he is. And Jacoby has done a great job with him, honestly. And that's not saying that Sam Howell didn't do a great job on his own, but with Jacoby being there is great. It's great guidance for him, and he has a great mentor in his corner. So, man, that man had 9 completions for 12. Oh, he completed 12. He completed 9 out of 12. And bruh, like when I say I was I was seeing them go down the field, man, and I was excited. I at first I was a little shaky. I was scared. I don't know if else was feeling the same way I was, but I was a little scared because I'm like, dang, bro, like this game can determine a lot for him. Cause like it determined a lot for Eric Bieniemy and him, but it showed that Eric, no matter who played, they was able to get down the field, except when Jake Fromm came in. But man, they were able to score with Jacoby, and they was able to score with Sam. So second stream and first stream score. So that's a good thing. And our second and first stream defense was doing great too as well, man. And B Rob and Antonio Gibson, they was aggressive. You hear me? Like they was doing their thing. They was really trying to make a statement. And they had a lot on their shoulders. With Eric Bieniemy being a former running back when he played, so he had a lot of. I'm sure he puts a lot into them. So man, and they represent him in a way, and so he has to make sure they doing their thing, and they did their thing. I promise you, they did. And Cody Barton, I got Cody Barton on my list. Cody Barton was doing everything that he should do at the mic position. He was doing the talking. He was talking to people. He was telling people where to move. You know, it's cool. They only played like one quarter, the first stream defense, but they was looking good. They was just a little shaky. They was letting up too many yards on the side, but our starters wasn't there on that side. We had I forgot who it was, but Emmanuel Forbes was playing left cornerback, and that's what Kendall Fuller would have played. But Kendall Fuller didn't even play today. So I was looking for him. I ain't see him, and they didn't even say nothing about him not playing because they said Logan Thomas wasn't gonna be there and Sadiq Charles wasn't gonna be there. But they never said nothing about Kendall Fuller, and I was looking everywhere for him. I must have missed him if he played because I didn't see anything. I watched the whole game, but he could have been on the sideline. I just ain't see him. But yeah, those was some people that didn't show up, and they had Emmanuel Forbes play Kendall Fuller's side, and then they had Benjamin St. Juice look like he was playing a slot, and they had somebody at right cornerback, and I don't know who that was. I can't remember, but they was letting up too many yards. And of course, that's expected when you have somebody that's not a familiar starter, or somebody that's not comfortable with that side. And I'm gonna figure out who that is in the next video. I'm gonna let y'all know who it was too. But man, like besides that, you know, um, Montez Sweat was looking sweet. Chase Young was looking good. Chase Young got to the backfield. He got to the quarterback. That's the goal, man. Get there. And he did that in the first quarter, so that's good. And that could have been a sack for him. I'm not sure what happened, but it looked like maybe all the effort that he put in to get there, he kind of lost some of it, or maybe he got blocked a certain way. But it looked like he kind of gave up. I can't really explain it because it's something you can't explain unless you Chase Young. Because it just looked like he hit the quarterback, but he failed. But he didn't get a chance to get that sack. It was fine. He almost got Deshaun Watson, but he got out of there. And you know, besides that, I mean, I think we did a good job of stopping Deshaun Watson. And he came out the game a little early because he injured his neck, so we really didn't get to see what it would have been like for our starters to really go against him and his starters, and himself. So, they still had a great quarterback come in, and I think that was his name was Robinson. I think it's 17, and he did a good job. He didn't throw no interceptions, and he did a great job. He did a great job when he played against the Jets too, and he's doing good as a rookie. He's doing great, and I think he's gonna go far. And I think the Browns really came up with a great pick on him. But back to our defense, man. Our defense was doing good, man. I seen Jamin Davis out there. He was doing great. And I think we had a great chemistry. And, Derek Forrest, that boy was everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, he was going to make it happen if he had to. And Cameron Curl, I ain't hear too much about Cameron, but, in the beginning, him and Cody Barton teamed up to get a tackle together. So that was good. And they was just making stops, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of improvement we need to do, but we got to remember some of our starters wasn't out there. So, for example, was Kendall Fuller, our number one starter on the left side, and I don't know what this was, but I think they kind of wanted to test out what Emmanuel Forbes could do, and plus they probably didn't want Kendall Fuller out there to get hurt or something like that, and maybe Kendall Fuller got injured before he had probably a little tweak or something before the game or something. So I wanted to see him out there, but unfortunately he wasn't though, man. And man, like I got a huge list, so get ready, prepare, get comfortable. And then you remember how in the beginning when Emmanuel Forbes first got here, everybody was worried about his weight, and I think last night he really proved that because he tackled a person that wasn't extremely big. He was 5'9". He weighed 190 pounds, but he weighed more than Emmanuel Forbes. So and then you got to think about it. When a running back is running in the backfield, he has that momentum to really make him weigh even more because he has that time to build up that speed. So we can even push his weight from 190 to 200. I'm sizing it, but Emmanuel Forbes made a stop, and it came in handy. And that was on second down. And, man, he really did his thing. And, we can say that he made a good tackle, but, you can also say that he had help because it was another person that helped him get that tackle as well. But he made a stop at the end of the day, and I wouldn't be mad at it. I think he did a great job, and the goal is to get there before they get started. So that's the key. When you don't weigh that much, you got to get there. You got to get in that backfield, and you got to make them things happen. And that's what Fred Smoot was talking about. He was telling Emmanuel Forbes in the interview that, yo, you got to get there before the play start, basically. And that's what Emmanuel Forbes did. He did a good job of that. And, man, you can't be mad at that. And, before the game, I was like, how many interceptions you think you're going to get? None, one, or more than one. And, because he only played one quarter, it was kind of hard to see if that was going to happen or not. But, some stranger things happen. And, I think our defense was doing good, man. I can't wait to see what they do when they really start, when the first game start up against the Cardinals. And, surprisingly, I believe the Cardinals won. And, I didn't have that much faith in them, but they did a good job. And, man, I don't know if they're going to do the same against us. We different. I can tell you that now. and everybody was a little shaky about our defense, but our defense got some turnovers that game. We know Percy Butler had an interception, and he fumbled it, but then he got it right back. Like he fumbled it in the air and then caught it right back. But that was good though, man. Like it showed how good his hands is, man. Like shoot, he found it and he caught that jump and got it right back again. So Percy Butler is a prime example of how Jack Del Rio wanted to create turnovers, and we doing it. You know what I'm saying? And also, we had Milo Effler. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been talking about him for the longest, and I'm glad he finally showed up, and he forced a fumble. He got in the backfield and forced a fumble. He looked good on the outside, bro. I'm telling you, he looked good. And I don't know. Khalid Hudson was cool. He had a decent game. But if it came down to that game and I had to make a choice for who was going to play next game in second string, it would have been Milo. Because Milo did his thing, and I was proud. And, Milo might be a little shooken up after getting hit in the neck. He got toe up. Like, I mean, he got hit in the neck by Harris. And that John looked a little rough. I'm like, sheesh. Boy, like, golly, they just got up and came back in the game. Like, I'm like, I would have stayed out a little bit. Just get my neck right. Sheesh. But you know what I'm saying? When it's preseason, them the things you got to deal with. Them the things you got to deal with because you got to go back in, bro. Because you don't really have much of an opportunity. This is your only chance you're gonna get to prove yourself, especially with all the good people on our roster. So Milo had to go back out there. Harris had to go back out there, and they had to really play for it again. Even though they probably was injured and Milo's neck was probably killing him, but he had to go back out there and prove himself. And man, like I'm that's a warrior. You want one of them. You want somebody who's gonna get knocked up, knocked out, get back in there. Even though it's sad, but that's the name of the game, bro. That's football. You gotta keep going. You gotta get back in there. Even when you're injured, you gotta play. Cause like everyone always say, availability is availability. Cause I done forgot the saying. Availability is availability. Y'all know the saying, but you get the point. But yeah, though, man. Yeah, man. I'm proud to see him go back in there and knock that out, man, and really just continue to play the whole game. And Eric Bieniemy wasn't taking nobody out until they scored. Like he was not taking the first stream out until they scored. Until Sam Howell scored, he was not taking him out. He was pissed though. He was hot. You could tell. And I really, that's one of them times where I wish we was on Hard Knocks, bro. I really wanted to know what was said. But he did a good job, man, and it showed. It showed, man. And I said before the game that what was his name? Jacoby Brissett was gonna get 30 points, but honestly, he did decent. He didn't get 30, but he did his thing. First drive, went down and scored. So it was like, bruh, like it was too easy for him, and he was already familiar with the offense, and he's getting familiar with the offense. I didn't see no problems, man. And then he had Byron Pringle, who came out and had a 30-yard pass. And, like, Byron did his thing. Byron said, I ain't rusty. I ain't dusty. I still can make something happen. And I definitely feel like Byron is going to make the cut. And that's only because he's already familiar with this offense because he used to play with Eric Bieniemy back in the day. And then at Kansas City. And then, he's polished. You know what I'm saying? He's a veteran. He knows how to stay on his toes. He knows how to play. He knows how to give him You know what I'm saying? He did his thing. He said, it's not just a Jahan out here. I could do it too. So he did his thing. He came through, man, and I'm proud of him, man. I want to see Byron on this roster, bro. I want to see him there, and I think he's going to make his mark. And, if it come down to it, if he got to do some special teams, he good at it too. He done scored on special teams before at Kansas City. So he can make things happen. And he's very versatile. You know what I'm saying? He can do it anywhere. But also, Jahan did his thing. We already knew Jahan was smooth with the routes. We already knew that. So we didn't expect nothing less. And, Sam connected with him and got that touchdown. And also, Diami was out there. He got a pass, man. He got a pass. He was in there. He said it's not going to be Jahan. It's not going to just be Byron. I'm going to be in there. And, Cole Turner came through, too. Cole had to take some big shots. I can tell you that. He had to take some big shots. and he still held on to the ball, and I gotta applaud him on that. And also not just taking big shots, giving big shots. Christian Holmes, man, Christian Holmes did his thing, bro. I seen like a good two strong hits by that man. Like that boy was doing his thing. He was lighting stuff up, and definitely, I think one of them cornerbacks that should make the list should be him. And I thought from this game, I'm just going off of this game alone, who I think should make the list. Um, Man, Percy Butler, definitely, he showed out because he did his thing in minicamp and training camp, but he really showed out in his first game. And honestly, what really stands out is how you play and what you make happen. And we really pay attention to interceptions. I don't care what nobody say. You can see somebody get a whole bunch of pass breakups. If you see somebody get a turnover, an interception, a fumble recovery, you're paying attention to those. So that's something to pay attention to. And hey, look, um, he did his thing, and he got it. And I'm sure Jack Del Rio will definitely be looking out for that. And if he get another one next week, I'm sure he's gonna be looking out for that again, and that's gonna be more of a reason why we keep Percy Butler. And Percy Butler has definitely shown that we should keep him. And we had Terrell Burgess back there, but Terrell Burgess, he almost gave up a touchdown, and I think he had like two missed tackles or two missed pass breakups, and I expected Terrell to really come out and really prove himself, but he might need another week. You know what I'm saying? He might need some more time to really get in the flow of things. And then who else I missed? Dax Mill, bro. He wasn't. I don't think that was a good game for him on special teams because he did his thing he did his thing when it came to uh, catching a pass, and he did his thing. He did his thing. He was decent. He caught one. But we really wanted to see him go off on special teams to really show that he still got it and he can make stuff happen. But it was Casimir Allen who came through, and even if he didn't have enough yards, he still tried to make something happen out of what he had. You know what I'm saying? So overall, I was impressed with Casimir Allen. Even though he didn't make it too far, and I think he made it real far on one of them, but we had a holding call or something like that, and it came back. But he showed that he can do it. You know what I'm saying? And he did a good job on that. And I was proud. I was proud by Casimir Allen's performance. And man, who else we got to talk about, man? Uh, who else? Eric Bieniemy. Uh, who else I ain't talk about yet, man? Pringle was looking nice. I said that. Casimir Allen. Christopher Rodriguez, you know what I'm saying? He was doing his thing. And bro, we got a lot of juniors on the team. Ain't nobody say nothing about that. And it's juniors everywhere. Christopher Rodriguez Jr., uh, Brian Robinson Jr., I think Emmanuel Forbes is a junior. And who else? It's somebody else. It's so many juniors on the team, bro. It's about 7 juniors. But yeah, Christopher was moving the line. He was moving the chains, which I call it. He was moving the chains, man. And one person that really on defense that we all expected to go off was Quan Martin, but I don't think it was his game. I just don't think it was his game for that game. And he gave up a touchdown, and that's all everybody was talking about on Twitter. And he went on Twitter, Quan Martin, and liked everybody's criticism. He liked excuse me, I had to burp, but he liked everybody's comment, bro. And I was like, sheesh, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with after a game, after having a bad game at that. Like everybody not able to deal with criticism, and he did a good job on that, man. I don't know how he gonna take it, but he said he was gonna use that as motivation. And I could have just read it. I would have just read it and kept moving on. One was enough, but I ain't need to like all of them to let y'all know I seen them. But I guess he gonna take that as motivation, and he gonna really show out the next game. And this is the moment where rookies and backups really have their opportunity to shine, because you're not gonna get this in the off season. I mean, in the regular season. This is this is their time to start for real. Because, the starters really only start for like a good quarter or two, and then they out. But this is one of them times where my boy Quan Martin really got to come through, man. And somebody say he gonna get cut. He not gonna get cut. Come on now. But I'm sure he's not going to. He's not gonna be starting right now because obviously he got cooked. But it's just one game, and that's probably why we haven't been seeing much of him in practice. Because I've been seeing him and hearing about him a little bit here and there, but he's not in that starting. He's not in the starting lineup. I can tell you that he hasn't shown enough to start, and Emmanuel Forbes has done more than enough to start. So, and he's already familiar with the defense. He just has to catch up to people and keep up with them. So, Quan Martin got a lot to improve on. But I was disappointed. I was more so disappointed in him just because I wanted him to do great, and this is his opportunity. But it's one game. You got two more to go, man. You gotta step it up. That's all I'm gonna say. And Milo, you definitely came through today, man. I'm proud of him. And Andre Jones showed up. He was in the backfield, and he had a tackle for loss. Did I say that right? Yeah, he had a tackle for loss. And man, I was proud that he just got in the backfield. One person I didn't hear about, I don't know if I might have missed it. Probably went to go use the bathroom or something. But I ain't hear much about KJ Henry. I ain't hear him at all. Like I ain't hear nothing about him. But maybe next game. But man, who else? Who else came through, man? Uh, for the most part, I think that was it, man. Like I think the defense really. I was proud of the defense, honestly, because it was three different defenses in there. So, but we all had the same defensive coordinator, but everybody flows different, especially when you don't have the starters out there. You got people who are not used to playing certain type of defense. I mean, offenses, but or not that good at covering. So, man, like I felt like we did a good job. You know what I'm saying? And we could have did better, but I think the defense did a good job in making a stop and getting the ball back to Sam Howell, like I said they was gonna do. They got it back to Sam Howell. Sam Howell had to do his thing, and one big question that we had going into this game was the offensive line, and the offensive line honestly came through, did their thing, and they had a few penalties here and there, but who don't, But when I tell you, he had so much time to throw. It was beautiful. It was looking beautiful, bruh, because every quarterback is going to get sacked at some point in the game. You're going to get sacked. But, and it doesn't happen every game. Every game, quarterback's not going to get sacked. But to be as worried as we were about the offensive line, that went straight out the window when I seen what they did, man. Like, they did their thing. And, of course, we didn't have Sadiq Charles. So that's somebody that could have kept us from getting any sacks, But we did a great job, and I think we really deserve a round of applause. A round of applause. A round of applause. We deserve a round of applause for what we did, man. And I think to come out with the win is all that we ask. Just come out with the win, bro. Like, I think we seen what the defense can do, and they are phenomenal. And we seen what the offense could do, and they're good. But they still got some more chemistry to build. And, Sam missed on some of the easy throws. He only missed 3 throws. He only had 3 incompletions. But it was 3 of them Jones where it's just like, it was pretty much checkdowns, bruh. And it was like, bruh, you had a nice little check down right there. But because he was looking elsewhere, when he seen his check down, it was too late type stuff. So, it's cool. I know they got Antonio Brown and B-Rob got a little frustrated, but they still believed in Sam Howell and what he could do. But at the time, I was feeling like, oh, snap. Like, they don't like Sam Howell. But, that's just how games get. You think, oh, this person don't like this person. They frustrated by this person. They probably not. They just frustrated by the game and just how they wasn't able to get at the ball, whatever the case may be. But, they won the game. I'm proud of them. And, they dealt with weather situation where it was raining and it was wet. So they had to deal with that. And imagine if it wasn't. Imagine how better the game could have been. So, man, I'm excited for the next game, and man, I think they came out and showed what Eric Bieniemy could do, and they also showed what Jack Del Rio can do when his guys is healthy, when his guys is back, when his front line is there, and obviously the Browns knew they couldn't run it up the middle. That was not happening. They knew that for a fact. In the first quarter, they knew that was not happening. So they just kept hitting the outsides. They just kept hitting the outsides, and I think they knew we was weak on the outside, but that's not gonna happen next game. Hopefully, Jack Del Rio does something different, switches it up, and this is the time where you can do things like that. It's okay, even if we lost the game, it was fine. You feel me? Because honestly, preseason is just a test. You're trying to figure out if some plays work, if some plays don't. You're trying to figure out if guys work here, if they work there. You see, that's why Emmanuel Forbes wasn't on the right side. He was on the left. So that's just something that we kind of take for granted. But it's like, bro, like it's preseason, bro. Make mistakes, make them. It's okay. It's all right. It's going to get better, and that's all that happens in the preseason. It's just improvement. You want to see where what you worked on, is it working now, or is it going to work this season, or should I change some things up? And I was very proud of Eric Bieniemy, and man, I'm definitely proud of Jack Del Rio, and give it up for Ron Rivera for bringing in Eric Bieniemy, man, because he did a good job, and I think we made some great moves this offseason. And it came out to a great defense and a great offense, man. And Sam Howell has everything he needs, bro. And I just can't wait to see the rotation next week because it's not going to be the same. I promise you it's not. It's going to be a different rotation. They're going to be switching guys. They're going to try to figure out some things. And I'm excited for it, man. And I'm going to definitely keep y'all up to date. And I appreciate y'all for sticking around because I be rapping sometimes. But I just be wanting to update y'all on everything. And this was a long video, but I appreciate y'all. And I just hope that y'all subscribe to the channel, man. And, yeah.